moving on another 5 years, then I want to come on to 1950, and we marked about the Carlsberg Special Brew. And what we have now is, if I can get myself in order, a bit like a lecturer who's going to get a poor mark for teaching quality. I have copies of the letter from the King of Denmark inviting Churchill to visit. It's dated 2nd of June 1950. Dear Mr. Churchill, I have been commanded by King Frederick to inform you that it would be a great pleasure to His Majesty and to Her Majesty the Queen if, during your stay in Denmark, you and Mrs. Churchill will be their Majesty's guests at the castle of Fredensborg. And it goes on from there. And Churchill obviously replied in the affirmative, and there was a very significant visit. He received an honorary degree from the University of Copenhagen. His speech in response, it had three main themes, all of them relevant for tonight. One was about the ancient links between Denmark and the UK. And of course, being Churchill and a historian, he went back to historic times. Yeah, and to the debt, as he put it, which the English owe to Denmark through the invasion and the raids by the Danes more than 1,000 years ago, which resulted in the wonderful, robust, independent yeomanry which we share. Of course, as he said at that time, we did not regard it as such, that's as a debt that we owed to you at the time. But in fact, that was one of the things that he did relate to, actually, the mingling, as it were, of the stock of England. And that took place, in fact, not just in England, but in fact in East Anglia, so it's very close to Cambridge, so there you are. The second theme was the value of a university education. Well, we sort of touched upon that. It was the rationale for the formation of Churchill College. Admittedly, he actually starts by referring to his own lack. Churchill didn't go to university. His own lack of such an education, pointing out that, I have been astonished to find how many more degrees I have received than I have passed examinations. But this does actually make you reflect, in fact, upon the relative values of a university education and the life experience which equipped Churchill. And as someone who's spent all my life in academia, I must say I have learned more and more to value that life experience. He concludes his third theme by reminding his audience, this is just 5 years after the Second World War and the beginning of the new Cold War. Of the need to cherish freedom. And this is a message whose importance we in Denmark and the UK understand only too well. But the speech which I wish to quote from now is not by Churchill, actually, but it's on the same visit. And it's by Mr. Frode Jacobsen. Yeah? Now, he was, I guess, the head of the Danish resistance during the war. And I find this a very moving speech. Yeah, I'll actually read quite a bit of it. I hope you don't mind. The Danish resistance greet you as the great leader in our common fight. When the democracy of Europe fell, Great Britain fought on in spite of the bombs over her cities. That is why there is still freedom in the world today. But over the smouldering ruins of London, there towered a great figure. The courage of Great Britain was personified in one man. Without Great Britain, freedom would have vanished from the earth. Without you, Mr. Churchill, we do not know whether England would have held out. Throughout the centuries, it has been given to few men to mold history as you have done, and to mold it in the cause of justice and truth. So I go another paragraph. We made our bombs in the dark. You did not know us, but we knew you. That is why men and women of the Danish resistance wish to show you the gratitude we feel towards you. How can we do this to you, who has been given more honors than any other living man? And I skip and then move on. Then for the first time after the victory, the Danish Freedom Council was received by our old king. We gave him this badge as homage to him for his stand when our country was in distress. He valued it so highly that when he died, his queen placed it as the only honor on his coffin. This badge is the only thing we can give you. We felt during the years of the war that you are our leader in the fight in the great battle of democracy. Among the hundreds of homages which you have received, please accept this humble symbol of the fight of the Danish people as an expression of its gratitude towards you. I give you the badge of the resistance movement. It is the greatest honor the resistance men can bestow on a man. So I think this is a wonderful speech, actually, and really, as you can probably tell, quite emotional. But I think it certainly binds Churchill and England and Denmark. Now, I've got to finish. Gosh, yes, that's already 20, isn't it? Right, I've got to finish. I want to talk just a few more minutes, if I may, about the business link. Because as well as the Archive Centre at the college, there is a second star in the firmament that is Churchill College, and that is the Muller Centre. It's been touched upon by Per. So it was founded in 1992, and it was thanks to a most generous donation to the college by the A.P. Muller and the Chastain McKinney Muller Foundation. And it's a dedicated venue for conferences, training, and executive education with the aim of creating strong links between the university, the college, industry, and business. So it's part of the outward-looking purpose which Winston saw in his vision for the college. And its existence is absolutely down to that remarkable man, Maersk McKinney Muller. And it was his vision and his generosity which resulted in the gift which created the Muller Centre. It was in recognition, his acknowledgement of the debt that he felt Denmark owed to Sir Winston, and also his interest in what was then called continuing education, now training and executive education. So he really was instrumental in this gift, and he continues to keep us on our toes. A remarkable man. He's now 97, and I don't mean just when we have to walk up the stairs with him, as you know, he does that, but he is still interested and engaged. And we've also benefited very greatly from the experience of Muller nominees on the board of the centre, and they may well be known to you, Thomas Tuna Andersen, Jesper Kierkegaard, and now Henrik Tvarno. So we're delighted to count Danish companies amongst the international clients of the centre, as well as major companies in banking, healthcare, creative industries, and pharmaceuticals in China. And interestingly, the last time that Elizabeth and I were in this hall was when China Merchants Bank were opening their office in London, and Gillian Holdham and I and Elizabeth were here because China Merchants Bank is one of the clients of the Muller Centre. So Gillian is here this evening. She's director of the Muller Centre, and I'm sure that she'll be delighted to welcome anyone who wants to visit and to see the facilities and to know more about what the centre does. And I extend this invitation to any one of you who would like to come up and have a look at the treasures that there are in the Churchill Archives Centre. So I want to finish now, finally, by remarking that this dinner has followed Churchill's example in a very important respect. He knew how to enjoy himself, not least when it came to social eating and drinking. In gastronomic, as in other matters, Churchill was, as he put it, easily satisfied with the very best. And that is what Elizabeth and I, as your guests, have enjoyed this evening. We thank you most sincerely for your wonderful hospitality and wish the Chamber of Commerce and all here every future success in all your endeavours. So I wonder, I would like to propose 2 toasts. I'm told this is in order. So 2 toasts. Will you join me, please? Rise for 2 toasts. So one is to the Chamber of Commerce, to you, the Chamber of Commerce. Now, the second one, in the college, we have 2 toasts on formal occasions. The first one is very respectfully the Queen, but the second one, which raises the roof, is to our founder, and I hope you will join me in the same spirit, Sir Winston. Thank you all very much. Thank you.